Hello YouTubes, and welcome to my next Let's Play, Metroid 4, also called Metroid Fusion for the Game Boy Advance, with me, BlueAnkylo. So I am now doing two games concurrently. I've decided that although I'm enjoying my Warlock Let's Play, seeing as I'm doing it the second time, I want to try to mix things up a little bit and play a different type of game so I can keep it interesting for me and my viewers. So I decided to pick this one. Seeing as I had a good old time with Super Metroid, I'll play the sequel to it, basically. And I guess we should get started here. So, like I said, Game Boy Advance, so a little bit different sort of style. It's not as, maybe kind of high quality video and audio, but yeah, I think we'll manage. And as you can see here, something's gone terribly wrong with Samus and her ship, so let's get to it. Now, I warn you ahead of time, this game has a fair bit more story, sort of narration and story than the rest of the Metroids for the most part. So we'll have to do some excellent narration on my part, I suppose. Excellent. So yeah, here we go. I'd been assigned to watch over biologics research team. So I once again found myself on the surface of SR388. That was the home planet of the Metroids from Metroid 2, in case you didn't know. And there it is. It's all nice. A little bit better than black and white from the Metroid days, from the Game Boy days. And I don't remember seeing those before. And I definitely don't remember seeing those before. It was there that I was attacked by a life form I had never encountered before. Uh-oh. It was only later that I learned the identity of my attacker, their parasitic organism we know as X. Not the most, cool name or anything, but unaware of my condition, I was returning to the station when disaster struck. Yeah, we saw something about this. Seizure time. Once the X had infested my central nervous system, I lost consciousness, and my ship drifted into an asteroid belt. Aw man, we liked that ship. It was a good ship. Kept us all healthy and supplied. Farewell, good ship. You'll be remembered. Ouch. The ship's emergency systems automatically ejected the escape pod before impact. Biologics vessel recovered it. See, it's a good ship, saved us, and transported me to Galactic Federation headquarters. However, during the journey, the X multiplied within me, corrupting large areas of my power suit. It then came to light that the organic components of my power suit had become so integrated with my system that it could not be removed while I was unconscious. Yeah, her suit's a little special, it's kind of complicated. Large portions of my suit had to be surgically removed, dramatically altering my physical appearance. However, the X in my central nervous systems were too embedded to be removed safely. I was given a minimal chance of survival. Poor Samus. This green vial will save you. Then someone found a cure. Just like that. They proposed using a Metroid cell? Wait a second. Metroids? To make an anti-X vaccine? Thought we killed them all. It seems that the Federation had managed to preserve a cell culture from the last infant Metroid, from SR388. You guys know him as the Super Metroid, the big bad boy. The serum was prepared and injected without delay. The X parasites were immediately and completely destroyed. I don't know how that works, but it's science. Probably. Metroid science. Well, got a new look. Kind of bluish, but hey, it's all good. As for me, one life ended, yet I survived, reborn, as something different. So, here we are, sort of Metroid-y Samus, kind of. Pondering this fact, I realize I owe the Metroid hatchling my life twice over. 'Twas a good Metroid. And here's our computer. We'll soon be arriving at the BSL research station. I must prepare for docking. Or maybe that's her talking still. There is a lot of computer speak, you'll see. And internal monologues too, of course. The ship's computer has notified me of our approach to the Biologic Space Labs, or BSL. BS. During my surgery, the research team sent the last batch of creatures we captured there, as well as the infected pieces of my power suit. After regaining consciousness, I learned that an unexplained explosion rocked the station. For some reason, this awoke a nameless fear in my heart, and now I am being sent there to investigate. My mission on the BSL station will be overseen by my new ship's computer. Following the commands of this blunt, computerized CO is something I have to bear, as it was a condition of my taking the ship. For someone who dislikes taking orders, this is the second time I found myself having to do so. It makes me recall my other CO. We'll learn more about him later. So yes, Samus, usually a bounty hunter, would have been fairly independent, sort of working with the Galactic Federation a bit. But now, seeing as they sort of saved her life and gave her a new ship, she's sort of indebted to them, I suppose. And we'll just have to live with it. So we got a new purple ship, instead of the old sort of orange one. Still a pretty cool ship, though. And our computer. There's been an explosion in the quarantine bay. The bay currently stores capsules containing recent samples from SR-3888, as well as parts of your suit infected by the X parasites. The cause of the explosion is as yet unclear. Investigate. The quarantine bay is here. Move quickly and quietly. You are still unable to use most of your latent abilities. Don't forget that, Samus. Stop at the navigation room on the way. Uplink from there. Is your objective clear? You got it. Now, go to the quarantine bay. Lickety split. Alright, so finally, after all that, to the game. So, standard Metroid fare. A little bit different controls, seeing as it's for the Game Boy Advance originally. There's no dash button anymore, so it's just sort of automatic. And we have a very handy new sort of edge grappling. You can still wall jump, although you can't climb up the same wall over and over again. You have to bounce off of opposite facing walls, essentially. And yeah, so we'll get to it. Now, as we're walking along here, I'll mention I'm not as familiar with this game as I was for Super Metroid, so I might not get 100% of everything. Just not quite as good at it. The quarantine bay is ahead. Biosigns are confirmed. Be careful. I don't know if maybe I should try to practice my robotic voice, computer voice. Alright, so it's kind of dark, a little bit creepy. We still can't even turn into a ball again, so at least for this Metroid, they give us a bit of a reason for why we're so, non-powerful. Usually between every game you lose all your powers, of course. And at least it's explained for this one time, basically. Alright, so this place doesn't look so nice, and oh, that's one of those things we saw on the planet. And of course there's a yellow X-parasite, but you can't shoot it. It seems that you can absorb them now. That sounds good. Although that one little monstery thing shouldn't have exploded all those barrels. So what is going on, viewers? Something crazy. We'll be back, that's for sure. And let's go back to the nav room. Oops. Jumpity Samus. This is unfortunate news. The specimen brought back by the field team were infected by X-parasites. Now that really shouldn't be too big of a surprise, seeing as the first one we killed also was infected. The X can mimic its prey. Any specimen could have hosted it. Before the explosion, a security sensor scanned one. The gelatinous X-parasites invade and rapidly reproduce, killing the host creature. They also absorb DNA and use it to mimic the host. You were almost killed by an X infection. Only the Metroid vaccine saved your life. It seems Metroids were the main predators of the X. That's why the vaccine works so quickly and so well. Now, I'm not quite sure how a creature that eats something else translates to its cell system, somehow magically fixing you, but hey, it's the future. Science is real. Science is now, perhaps. But it has also changed your cellular makeup. You will never be infected by X again. Well, that's good to know. In fact, you can now absorb any free-floating X-parasites without a host by merely touching them. Yeah, we saw that. This will allow you to replenish health and restore weapons. You may also restore latent abilities this way, so pursue free X parasites whenever you possibly can. Well, that's handy to know. This station is home to many species, some violent ones. We must keep the X out of the breeding environments at all costs. This is vital, Samus. I am already detecting massive biosigns in this region. The X are gathering. Dun dun dun. This may be our chance to exterminate them, but you are only at 10% battle capacity. Your chance of survival is extremely low. The Federation needs you alive and on duty, Samus. Is your objective clear? Sure. Now, get going. I have released a lock on level 0 hatches. Look for the blinking hatches. So in this one, instead of colored doors with different weapons, it just goes locks 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they'll eventually be opened, if I remember correctly. So yeah, we're gonna track down some X parasites. Those are the green doors. They're like level 2 or 1 or 2, I can't remember. We'll be able to open them eventually. And yeah, let's get to it. Save room, might as well save it. Thank you, game. And let's get to it. What else was I gonna say? I can't remember. There's lots of dead scientists that turn into zombies. We'll have to go over there eventually. They basically just continue to respawn over and over again, so you can't really stop them, and you can't get through that either, so don't even bother. I'm not going to remember all the items in the game, so there's going to be some times where I miss stuff. It's just my bad. I have received news from headquarters. Pfft. They can support you with downloadable weapons data. Once you have this data, you'll be able to use missiles. This will help against some enemies your beam can't hurt. Head to the data room for the download. The data room is here. It's a D on your map. Surprise. With missiles, your chance of survival climbs to 20%. Well, isn't that nice? Seems to be a pretty smart computer being able to figure all this stuff out and, you know, give us orders and stuff. I'm not sure how I feel about being, kind of think there's like missiles over there or something at some point. Maybe we can get them later. Kind of have this feeling. Might not be anything there, but you never know. Yeah, that computer is tricky. Internal elevator monologue time. That computer reminds me of a gruff Federation CO I served under the name Adam Malkovich. He called me Lady on missions. From anyone else, it would have sounded sarcastic, but Adam made it sound dignified. Out of respect, and with some irony, I named the computer after him. Wow, that's very nice of you, Samus. I think all this Metroid vaccine has gone to your head. You used to be just a silent Metroid murdering killer, but now you're all internal monologue-y and, you know, naming computers and weird stuff. I don't know what the deal is here. So, welcome to our first data room. And surprise, you can use missiles. And you start with 10, so that's nice. You can play hard mode of this game, and I think you get like 5, or you get much less missiles if you play it on the hard mode. Once you've cleared it once already. Electrical interference has knocked out the elevators on the main deck. This may be related to the X. Sure, maybe. I'll work on it. As for you, try to find another way to the target. It's located here. I'm reading huge biosigns, so I hope your missiles work. To reload missiles, you can use a recharge room, the R's, or absorb a special type of X parasite. You'll see them. Try it out. I don't know how the computer knows this. Missiles are your only hope. Don't hesitate to use them. Now, find a way to the target. Now, seeing as I was just recently repaired with Metroid vaccine, and we've only started killing the X very recently, how it knows that is kind of a mystery. Also a mystery, the bridge is up there. How does a normal human even get up there? That's a good question, viewers. That's the actual control room of the ship. Oh, and surprise, you can open that with a missile. And now we can actually destroy those things too. 3 missiles? Yeah. And that was a green X. Those are the ones that give us missile recharge, basically. Now there's probably some hidden missiles around here that I'm already forgetting. My apologies. Some of the items are just fairly difficult to find the way I remember it. My first time through the game, I found basically one row solid of energy tanks, and I thought I'd got them all, only to find out there was actually 2 rows, so I actually had half of them, and I was a little bit, well, surprised. Oh, and the eye doors. These are a little bit more difficult than in the last game, although it's being nice to us so far. There we go. Yeah, they're kind of annoying. Okay, stop that. There you go. Hey, thought I killed it. Ah, curses. Stop that. Stop that. Thank you. He did. And they always give you a red parasite, which heals you 500 energy, give or take, and probably most of your missiles. Could be some missiles hidden around somewhere. There's energy tank. Oh, I know. I remember one. I remember this one for sure, because this is a very sneaky thing. You have to shoot missiles right up there. And without falling down, of course. You can get a spare energy tank. So, very nice start, rather than not having that. Like I said, I'm sure I'll miss lots of stuff, but I'll try to remember what I can. And this is actually a room very much like the final boss of Metroid 2, but the boss is different anyway. This one just lets you practice your sort of wall jump. Oh. And I don't think your gun does anything. Oh, it does do something. Never mind. It's just not as good as missiles. And then after every boss, basically they turn it back into their, whatever you call it, guarded X form or shielded X. The only way you can hurt those is with missiles. And so that's no big deal. Not that I'm terribly good at it right now. It'll take me a couple episodes to fully remember my controls, but there we go. One boss down. Power up. Morph ball ability required. Well, we'll sure be using that more in the future. No worries. So, surprise, you can turn into a ball again. And I didn't show you this, so here's the map. Green, of course, is for sort of secret and off-map areas. Sometimes you have to go through them, obviously, but they're kind of secret-y. The dots are for items, and in this game, you have a circle first if there's an item you haven't picked up, and it turns into a dot once you've got it. So you can kind of keep track of which items you've got already. And once you've beaten the game, it also shows you a counter in the corner here that shows you how many, like you've got 1 out of 3 energy tanks, 2 out of 20 missiles, you know, that kind of stuff, which is very nice. And your standard status, you know, how many missiles, all that stuff. I don't think you can equip and unequip your items this time, so it just stays on. It kind of makes sense for the story because your suit is being recharged. It's not really toggleable anymore, so I can't turn off my morph ball, I don't think. But that's okay. So anyway, I am going to wrap up this episode here. Hope you have enjoyed and will continue to enjoy my platformer Let's Play. So I've got something different to do instead of always doing a strategy game. So yeah, that's all for today. Have a great day. BlueAnkylo out.